Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. Well, it's almost back to school time and I thought it'd be fun to create something that you could hook on to your backpack. Plus, I got a whole bunch of inquiries about making these things called squishies. So I thought it might be kind of fun to do a duct tape squishy. And if you look over here, you can see some of the ones that we've come up with. These are all the designs that you'll find on Sophie-World.com. You'll find the templates for them. So that everything you see here, you can get a template and you too can make it. So to make these, we're just gonna need some duct tape, of course. We're gonna need some filler, some stuffing, and I found that some of the best stuff that works inside is either cotton balls, or these are those amazing sort of makeup sponges. They're kind of smooshy, but they also come in rounds and squares, and they're just perfect for being inside a squishy. You can use a regular sponge as long as it doesn't dry out, because there's those sponges that when the water all evaporates, they get crunchy. You don't want a crunchy squishy, because then it wouldn't be a squishy, then it would be a crunchy. You're also going to want a Sharpie pen. You're going to need some parchment paper. You're going to need scissors, very, very important. And you're going to need our template. So in this case, we're just going to make a strawberry. So for my strawberry here, I'm going to take my parchment paper, and I want to make sure that my parchment paper is big enough to fold over onto itself. So I'm going to take my parchment paper here, and I am going to trace my template. Now, making squishies is really basically like making one of our stickers. And if you haven't had a chance to check that out, you should go to our YouTube site and just put in stickers, and you'll be able to find, I think there's 2 or 3 sticker videos. Okay, I'm going to angle this a little bit so that I can get everything on one piece of parchment here. Now this is very, very important. When I lay my tape down, we do with our stickers, I need to make sure that I'm putting my tape on the side that I just drew with a Sharpie. So, just in like making a sticker, you're going to cover the area, and any area where it meets, you want to make sure that you overlap by at least 1/4 inch. So I'm going to put that on an angle here. There we go. So that I get that, see that? That whole stem is covered there. Okay, now I'm going to take my red. I'm going to lay this down. Now, the thing about a squishy that makes it different than a sticker is it has 2 sides with something sandwiched in between. In this case, either cotton, or I'm really, really fond of these facial sponges. Thing about it is this. I did try using, that fiber fill stuff that you would like fill like a toy or a pillow with, and it works. The only problem is that because fiber fill, the nature of fiber fill is to be like, it's all kind of, it makes it hard when you're trying to seal the edges because there's always one of those little tiny that gets in there and it's like, yeah, and then it pushes it open. So I've decided that maybe not the best thing to use. Okay, so I've got my tape all on here. Now, here's the tricky part. What I want to do is I want to flip this over. I want to fold this in half. And I want to put tape on this side here that matches tape on this side here. So let's just do this. So you fold it onto itself like this so that we're going to cut this and we're going to get 2 exact copies. So I'm going to lay, now to make sure that I get it in the right place, I'm going to fold it this way. That's why I was folding it that way in the first place, so that I can see through here. There we go. So I'm going to lay my green down. And other piece of green down. And now I'm going to put the red down. Now I should make a note that I got this really adorable letter from a young girl who said she had her own way of making squishies, which was very cute. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure that all of these are secured down. Sometimes it's good to come back with your tape and just rub over it so that it sticks to the parchment paper. Now I'm gonna fold this back the other way, making sure that everything lines up. And now I'm just gonna cut these out. So anyway, she sent me this letter with instructions on how she made her squishies. And what she did was, and I thought this was very clever, she actually took, cutting around here you can see, she actually took Post-it notes and she covered the Post-it note with nail polish. And then she did it on two sides of two different Post-it notes, and then she taped the edges together to make her squishy. And then she put fiberfill, or the stuff that you would find in a pillow. She put that into hers. And she sent me the step-by-step, and it was the cutest thing I ever did see. So that's where we started thinking for the first time about, maybe it would be fun to do some squishies. And then I started thinking, well, you know, I love Post-it notes, and I thought her idea was really great. I just was worried that, you know, they would get wet. And then that's when I started thinking about, well, what keeps things dry? Duct tape. Okay, so I'm almost done cutting this out here. This is when I'm going to have to come back after this video, and I'm going to actually have to clean my scissors. Make sure you clean your scissors well, because this kind of stuff where you're cutting layers and layers of tape can really gunk up your scissors. So make sure that you either take a baby wipe and carefully wipe them down, or just make sure you clean them with a little bit of nail polish. Okay, so I've got my, nail polish remover. Don't put nail polish on your scissors. So I've got my pieces now, and as you can see, when I pull them apart, they're ready to go. So now we need to seal these together. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out my sponge here. I'm going to use a sponge for this one. Now here's the thing. I want to make sure that I leave a good ½ inch around the outside. And the reason for that is because we want it to seal. It's almost kind of like a tart or a pastry, or, you know, it's one of those things that, like a Pop-Tart, you know how it's sealed around all the edges? You want to do the same thing. You want to seal those edges. So here we go. I'm putting that, cut my sponge to make my kind of strawberry shape here. So I'm going to lift up my first backer. There we go. Okay, putting my spongy right there. I've left about ½ inch there, you can see. And I'm going to take my other little piece here. And what's kind of nice is because this is sticky, I can kind of form it into the shape that I want. I can even take this little extra piece and get it in there. There we go. All right, now you're ready for the squishiness to become? It's going to become squishy now. Okay, take my second backer, and I'm going to place it right on top, as close to lined up as I can get. And then I just want to push down the squishy, and I want to push my fingers around and around and around, and I want to seal every single edge. Now, there's the squishies sealed in. And now what I want to do is see how there's just a little teeny bit of that sticky there. That's going to happen because you've got bulk, and your tape is going to go over that bulk, which means it's going to pull back a tiny bit from the edge when it seals. And also what's great here is that when you cut with the scissors, it actually is going to seal as well to make it really nice and secure. All right, so there's the bottom part of my strawberry. It's quite squishy. And now I'm going to put the topper on. Now for the topper, I didn't put any squishy in here. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but here's what I found. You really want your squishy part to be the large area, the largest area of it. Because if you try to go into little tiny areas, you're not going to get a good seal. And if you don't get a good seal, they're just going to pop open. Okay, so I'm just going to place my topper right there, flip it over, and then what I'm going to do is just try to, as close as I can, match this back by laying it right on top, like that. Now, if you remember, I said that these are great for your backpack. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a little key ring to this. And what's going to be cute is that it's going to look like the top of the strawberry. So there's my strawberry, all trimmed and ready to go. And I've got a key ring. So you can use this kind of key ring, or you can use like these dog clip kind of key rings. You can use whatever you can find. And what I'm going to do is take a tiny, 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 tiny strip. And what I'm going to do is just fold this over onto itself twice. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these scissors. I'm going to cut. I'm not going to cut in the sticky area. I'm going to actually cut where the pieces of tape have folded over onto themselves so that I had a nice seal there. So that's going to keep my scissors from getting gunky. See how I left a little tiny edge there? Okay. Now what I'm going to do, this tape is so super sticky. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this right here. So I'm going to go up and over to make a little loop. And in this case, I'm just going to add my keychain right now. I'm going to cut it to the size I need it to be. Let's secure the side first. What I can do here is just use little strips of tape. I'm going to get rid of that tiny bit there. And I'm just going to secure this right here, like that. And now I'm going to add my keychain. Tiny little strip, fold it over, and secure that in place like that. So now I'm ready to put that on my backpack, or put my keys on there, use it as a keychain. These would make great gifts for your family. Now, just so you know, on the website, what you're going to find are these templates, and they're going to be very similar to the way we do stickers. So again, check out the sticker templates. Now, my sister Frida is amazing. As I told you, her middle name should be Embellishment. And she's come up with all these adorable, cute little faces and patterns and things like that. So I'm going to just show you quickly how you would put together one that has one of these cute sticker face templates. So in this case, I've already got my sticker back, and this time, you know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use, we've got one side done already, so it doesn't take forever. I'm actually going to be using cotton balls here, so you can see how the cotton balls work. So see, I've just stuck that cotton ball right in there, and you can kind of mush it around. I think one is enough, actually. And then I'm going to take this backer, and I'm just going to place it right on top and seal it up. Now, here's another little trick just to show you. If you do want to turn these into keychains, and you know that you want to do a keychain, what you can do is just take a little piece of tape right now and get that strip ready to go, right? So you get your strip all ready to go. And now, before you seal the top, place it right here. So I'm just going to put my strip in there, and then next to it put the other strip, and then I'm just going to seal this puppy up. And now my strip is inside there. So that's another way that you can seal it up. Now you can see I got my little head. It's all ready. It's squishy. It's got his little squishiness. You know, this one is not as bad as my one that I did with the sponge because it doesn't stick up as far, but you can trim that little extra bit. Just don't trim too much. And now I'm just going to take my sticker pieces and lay them on to make my cute little face. So I've got my ears. And I got the panda circles. This is what defines a panda. I got my little nosy. This is kind of fun. This is just like making stickers. And remember that you can make your squishies into anything that you want. And there you go. There you have your panda. Isn't he cute? Now, if you want to, too, one other little note. You don't have to put the face on both sides. If you look at our turtle here, he just has a backer of blue on one side, and then he's got the turtle on the other side. That way, if it's one of those really intense stickers, then you don't have to do it twice, which that might be a lot of work. For more fun stuff that you can take to school with you and show off to all your friends or make as gifts for your family, come and check us out at Sophie-World.com.